Celebrity lookalikes are funny. They are. Celebrity lookalikes are really funny. And today I went to Kroger. I went to Kroger today and I saw a Bob Newhart lookalike. I did. I saw a Bob Newhart lookalike at Kroger today. It seems like I find a lot of celebrity lookalikes at Kroger. This is at the Kroger in Bellevue, the Kroger supermarket. You know, cut your cost. That place, Kroger in Bellevue. And it seems like I found a lot of celebrity lookalikes there. I remember one time I saw an Andy Rooney lookalike there. You know, remember Andy Rooney? And this is funny too, because the guy, he looked exactly like him too. He could have been him. You know, if I didn't know any better. But I was in the bread aisle. This is a few years ago. I was in the bread aisle and I saw an Andy Rooney lookalike. You ever notice how many celebrity lookalikes there are? Don't you just hate that? Yeah, that guy, Andy Rooney. There's one other time at Kroger. I think it was at the same Kroger. I saw an LL Cool J lookalike. Yeah, that's right, LL Cool J. Remember LL Cool J, the rapper? And who are some other funny celebrity lookalikes? There's a couple years ago, I think it was on the Big Bend trip. I was at this restaurant, and we saw a Walter Cronkite lookalike, and he was eating at the same table as a Steve Miller lookalike. There's a big group of people, and two of them were celebrity lookalikes. Or how about, I think the funniest celebrity lookalike that I ever saw. This was back in like 1991. I was on a road trip, and we were in Pennsylvania, and we stopped at this restaurant. It was a King's restaurant. It was in like northwestern Pennsylvania, and and we saw a C. Everett Koop lookalike in there. Remember C. Everett Koop? He used to be the Surgeon General, and he was always on TV talking about condoms and things like that. The guy with the beard, and he looked just like him. And the funny thing is, we were snickering, and the funny thing is, he knew we were making fun of him. He knew that's what we were thinking. He knew what we were laughing at him because he looked like C. Everett Koop. And what are some other funny celebrity lookalikes? I knew there was one time in Philadelphia, I saw a Steve Martin lookalike. I was on a trip in Philadelphia. And one of the most common celebrity lookalikes, you never guess who one of the most common celebrity lookalikes is. I think I've seen at least three of them. Is Weird Al Yankovic. That's right. I can think of at least 3 times where I've seen a Weird Al Yankovic lookalike. And one of the first time I remember, it was funny too. This is years ago, and this was funny because we were at I was at Americana amusement park years ago. This is like it was probably 20 something years ago. I was at Americana amusement park, and you know how they used to have that train ride there, and we were just getting off the train. There's a row of people standing there waiting to get on. And we zoomed past them. I noticed that one of them, there's a guy standing there who looked just like Weird Al Yankovic. And before I could even say anything, my mom whispered to me, "That guy looks like Weird Al Yankovic." And it was funny too. Another thing like that, there was one time I was at, I think it was at some restaurant. It might have been like the Buckhead Mountain Grill or some restaurant like that, or it was one of those restaurants down there. I was there. I don't remember if this was like with some family members. Yeah, I think it's like with some family members or something. And there was a guy There was a guy that looked like George from Seinfeld eating in there. And we were like a couple rows away from him. And there's a guy who looked like George from Seinfeld. And I didn't say anything, but I started snickering. And then my brother says, "What's so funny? Are you laughing at the guy who looks like George from Seinfeld?" So apparently he thought the same thing. You remember George from Seinfeld? And another funny thing, I had a teacher once. This is even funnier. I had a teacher once who not only did his voice sound just like Kermit the Frog, but he actually looked a little bit like Jim Henson. Seriously, I did. I had a teacher once. I'm not making this up. And I actually noticed first that his voice sounded like Kermit the Frog. And then later, it occurred to me that he looked a lot like Jim Henson. So that was really weird. But, I'm trying to think of some other funny celebrity lookalikes. There's been a couple times at a restaurant I saw a Mr. Hooper lookalike. Remember Mr. Hooper, the old guy from Sesame Street? And I remember one time I was at my dad's company picnic once when I was about 15 or 16, and then I saw a Mr. Rogers lookalike. And then there was one time a few years ago I saw a Sarah Palin lookalike. And this is right after the 2008 election. I saw a Sarah Palin lookalike. And not only that, but she bubbled. She did. A Sarah Palin lookalike bubbled. And I saw her again later. She did the same thing. But, what are some other funny celebrity lookalikes? I remember back when I worked at the library, I saw a Bill Clinton lookalike. He went into the library. He looked like Bill Clinton. And there was one other time. It was, and I know a few years ago at Famous Recipe, the fried chicken place, I saw a Dick Cheney lookalike. I did. He looked just like him too. And then there's sometimes a person who looks like more than one celebrity. Like there was the time at Pasquale's Pizza when a guy came in there, and I thought he looked like Pete Townsend from The Who, but my mom thought that he looked like Dustin Hoffman. But see, that was another celebrity lookalike. I don't know, maybe it's just because Dustin Hoffman looks like Pete Townsend, or Pete Townsend looks like Dustin Hoffman. I don't know. So those are some of the funniest celebrity lookalikes I've ever seen. Like the Bob Newhart lookalike I saw today at Kroger. Bob Newhart went Krogering.